This video is for the men out there that are not in Christ and not kings yet, might also never be kings, that are busy projecting on women like me, that are working for God, that are building something holy, that are shining because Christ is in us and our light, our frequency is so high, is so bright that it gets mistaken by them. It gets mistaken as free labor. Do you even know me? Like, I don't think so. You cannot possibly understand what it is like to be in Christ. You have never made it there. You don't know what it takes. The kneeling, the surrender, the nights being cleansed, the month crying, um, the submission on your knees, giving all your life to Christ and being completely redone inside out by Him. If you haven't gone through that, you don't know who you're talking to. Even if somebody knew me 2 years ago, they don't know me now. And these people that are seeing somebody bright like me, that are projecting all their rage, all their own shadow that is coming up in the mirror of such a bright light, like I can feel that vibration. I can feel those ugly thoughts. Like, it's disgusting. You think nobody notices, but we do. And I was warned that if I now step into my high feminine, I will attract or like be met with all this like low masculine that are enraged by somebody like me that's calling them into the kingship, but that aren't ready yet or too scared to actually do it. I didn't know it was gonna be so many online in the comments, or even people that I fucking paid and worked with. I worked with this one coach. I paid him €500 per month for nutrition and fitness coaching. I told him my hair is dropping. I need help with that, and he kinda gave me a training plan and nutrition, but he couldn't help me with the rest. He's also not able to hold people emotionally or lead them to Christ, and I kind of saw through that, and I just left. And I'm not happy with the result, but I'm okay, like I didn't bother him, but I feel like all that rage coming because these guys thrive off ego. They thrive off being admired, being like, or like trying to like pull you into false spirituality. People that are like Buddhist, like they cannot handle the clarity of Christ and the fire that comes with it. And then they use this as free emotional labor, like a projection to just throw onto, like, but do you even know like what you're doing? You should be blessing me. You should be paying for that. That is free healing. That is free emotional labor. That you have somebody, that you are so lucky to have met somebody in your life that is this bright light that is exposing the shadows that you should be working on. And even if you're not a client yet, or like seeking this kind of healing out and like committing to it, it's an invitation for it. It's not an attack. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just doing what I do, what God calls me to do, and it's taking a lot of bravery, strength, and faith to stay in it and do that. That's why I also ran away from it for so long. But now that I'm in it, I'm happy and fulfilled. But it's not free emotional labor. And these guys think like we are like the bad ones, but I'm literally in Christ. It's not performance. This is not faked. And it's warfare. It's warfare against the shadows. So if you found me, if you were lucky enough to find my videos, if you're lucky enough to be a man that gets to interact with me and gets triggered, that's your shadow. That's not my attack on you. I don't have any gain from that. I would prefer if you pay, if you book, and we can do it in an easy release and you don't have to go through the painful valley by yourself. That's literally what I hold people through and show them how it's done. And we deal with like all these unmet emotions, like all the areas where they're stuck, where they're not in masculinity yet. Because usually people, even if they look masculine, like they look strong, they're flexing, they have the money, like whatever. They act masculine, like a leader. They have a great wife, like they could not be fully in their masculine. They could be billionaires, they could be CEOs, there could be areas where they're not in their masculine. For example, they don't know how to lead emotionally, they don't know how to worship women, take care of women, they have not processed their first heartbreak. Like all these things, you know, can be done super good in healing, but it needs commitment for that. But also, the stuff that you're not ready to face, like don't heal it for free throwing shit on people like me, because we feel it. And I'm busy doing God's work, and I'm not willing to do it for free to those people pretending like they don't need it, or they having fear, feeling like they're not ready yet to do it, and thinking they can plaster another year with things of the ego, with materialistic stuff or worldly things, and avoiding the cross. Ultimately, we need to kneel to Christ. There's no way around it, and He is the best teacher for men. But I also guide men through that, and the point where the highest levels of masculinity they will only reach when they kneel and submit to Christ, because He is the one that will straighten out like the last bits and pieces. And there's things that we can do before, but ultimately that is what needs to happen. So it's not just me, it's like Christ working through me, and I'm working for Him basically. But yeah, if you're watching this and you feel convicted or triggered again, it's not an attack. I'm just speaking truth and something that I have observed and I'm just sick of. So yeah, bless my work. There's a link underneath this video. Be honorable. And I'm not a mirror to be attacked, okay? You are mirroring your own shadows. You're mirroring your own projections. People always see in me what they have inside themselves. Always. If you cannot see my light and my beauty, that's on you.